Hi guys, welcome back to HAG Studios. Jamaica has some of the most beautiful gardens, and it's our hope to bring you most of them, if not all. Today we're at the home and garden of Barbara Martin. She has one of the most beautiful and diverse gardens, and so we want to show it to you. So come with us. Hi Barbara, it's so nice to be here. I've been looking forward to this, to come into your garden from I heard about it several weeks ago.
Oh, welcome Faye. It's nice to have you here.
Oh, thanks.
Let me give you a little tour of my handiwork.
Yes, because you do a lot of this yourself.
Oh yes. Every day I'm in the garden.
You're
every
in the
morning.
garden. Yeah.
At the break of dawn, I'm outside looking at all my babies.
Yes.
I water every morning. I'm a mad lady with the water. And sometimes I think I probably overwater my plants.
You think
but that's
so?
just me.
Yeah, but then when it rains, you don't really do it. Like now, we have a bit of a drought.
Yes, so every morning I have to be, showering them.
You know, when we came in, it was so interesting because Latoya and I were talking about this garden ornament, and we're looking at them. And we're saying, is she interested in him or not?
He's trying to do it. Yes.
But she's giving him a hard time.
Yes. The ornaments really do add a little whimsical touch to the garden.
Yes, and you have quite a bit of those.
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, these ornaments have served me well because I probably had some of them maybe more than 20 years. And they're still going strong.
How long have you been here?
I have been here about almost 28 years.
28 years.
Yes. When I came here, there was absolutely nothing because the previous owner had a lot of dogs. He had a security company, so he had dogs all over the property. So I really started this garden from scratch.
Yeah, dogs and gardens don't work.
No.
It's
I
either
do
the
have
dogs or the garden.
Right. I do have dogs, but I keep them to the back of the yard where I just have mainly fruit trees.
Yes.
Ready?
You have quite an interesting combination of plants. You know, it's a big yard because you have a few family homes on the property.
Right.
It's big lot. And so you're able to incorporate so many varieties of plants.
And I do believe that variety is the spice of life, trust me.
Yeah.
At one time I had a lot of orchids, but disease and whatever, and I lost quite a lot of them. And then I realized that, having a variety of plants has served me better. Because at all times you're going to have, blooming
Something
plants.
is blooming. Like these periwinkles here.
Even though periwinkles are very common plants, they do add a flair to the garden.
Yes, they certainly do.
Yes.
They add color and flair and style.
Right.
Yeah. What is this called again? Is this what they call rice?
Rice and peas.
Rice and peas.
Right.
Yeah.
This one that I'm starting here is another color to it that I recently acquired. I think that one has more pink to it.
Okay, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
And what is this?
I'm not sure what this is. It's a very unusual bloom.
Yes.
I need to do some research on it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking I even want to put it in the ground, but I need to know how big it grows before I put it in the ground.
Okay. Yeah. I am just fascinated with this.
Yeah, this is called a ground orchid.
Yes.
It's always in bloom.
Always?
Always.
Whoa.
And it is very dramatic.
Yes.
It really
from the entrance, I thought it was a garlic plant.
Okay, because of the color.
Yes, from the distance and the fact that it's so concentrated.
Right, yes,
I thought it was a garlic plant, but it's really an orchid.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Always blooming.
Always blooming.
And doesn't require much attention at all.
Yes.
I just make sure and water it every day because they say the finer the leaves, the more water they need.
Okay, okay.
But then these also do very well in the sun.
That sun loving.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the colors in this.
I think it's called Purple Shield. It's a new addition to my garden,
Yes.
and I am so in love with it. As
looks
also
almost like
this one
velvet.
beside it. I'm beginning to really appreciate
Succulents.
leaves.
Leaves.
Yeah, just
Yes.
yeah, just
The shapes.
colorful leaves.
Or the shapes, because
And
that
the shape
one
too,
is
that
so
is so
interesting.
unique.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I like that combination there with the periwinkles over there and the orchid.
Yes.
Just
yes.
that whole scene is so nice. That's beautiful
It is,
foliage.
yes, beautiful.
Look at that stripe. Are they the same?
Yes, and it just depends on the amount of sun. That one gets more, that's why the leaves are so white, whereas that one gets a little more.
Little less.
Little less. Sorry.
Okay.
See another one in this corner, and I mean it's a
And
different,
this one is another.
different coloration.
Yeah. Oh my. Look at how the stripes are on this.
Beautiful. It can actually grow to a very huge plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I visited one of my friends and she had them, and I mean, I was just in awe. They were massive. So I'm trying to get these to grow, larger.
I see. I've put in a few lilies in your bed
yes,
here.
yes.
And they're in bloom now.
Yes. Even though it's an Easter plant, but I find,
Yes.
you get the odd ones that will come up still.
And what is good when you have the variety like you do, there's always something blooming.
Yes.
And you get more surprises.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
So you actually have the plants that are there permanently, and then you bring in some annuals.
Right. From time to time, I'll add a few annuals, just for
Yes. This
interest.
hibiscus is interesting.
It is.
Yeah, very different.
Yes,
That one seems like it's not as susceptible to the.
No, it is. It's very delicate and I would say a difficult plant to deal with.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really an annual. It's not your typical hibiscus.
Okay.
In another month or two, couple of months, it probably will go down. One of my favorite plants are the bromeliads.
The bromeliads.
I just love the colors and the blooms, because even that yellow one, that will probably bloom for like 4 months.
Yes, the blooms
straight.
stay a long time.
So
When they do come up.
Right.
Because I find sometimes if they're not in the right location.
Yeah, and they don't like too much sun.
Yes.
So maybe in a few months I'll probably have to move these. Maybe.
Yeah.
I just watch it and see.
And then you make your movement.
Right.
Okay. This caught my as soon as we drove in.
Yeah, it's a very dramatic.
Yes, it's so unusual.
It is. It only blooms once a year, but believe me, it's worth the wait.
Worth the wait.
Yes, because
Okay.
when it was in full bloom, I probably had around 30 spikes on it.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, how long have you had it on the palm tree?
I've had it here for maybe 7, 8 years.
And
And it
it
took a
started with just a little piece?
Yes. but it took a very long time to bloom. I mean, years. But once it started blooming, every year I would get blooms, and each year I'd get more blooms. So I'm happy with it.
It's beautiful, beautiful. I've not seen that before.
Okay.
Of course, I've seen this.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because we all love these.
Yes, yes. Because these will bloom for months. You
Yes.
know? And they don't really require any special attention.
No, they're easy.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
This is a new orchid bed.
Right.
And they're a little yellow now, but is it you feed them on a regular basis?
I've been feeding them like twice a week, giving them Epsom salts and you know, growing
Yeah.
fertilizer,
Right.
trying to get them up to scratch. So
They're coming because I see
yes.
quite a bit of new roots, and
yes,
that's a
yes.
sign
They've
that
only been
they're
put out here 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
2 months now. so-
Okay, but can you imagine when this starts to bloom? That's going to be beautiful.
It will be.
See what you have done here. You have cut back the desert rose, and then you will have it springing
Yes.
on all sides.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so it's
if your
full.
desert roads become too straggly, you can actually cut them back, or they're pretty unforgiving. They're forgiving plants that you know they will survive basically whatever you put them through. So
Well, what I know is that when you cut them back, like cut each stem like what you have done here, then they
The foliage becomes very dense.
very dense
Yes,
and beautiful.
yes, I have some that I've done over there. I'll show you what they look like.
Okay.
Now that they have come back up.
Okay, okay.
Look at
this.
Right. This
So
one
this
was
you-
very straggly. So
Yes, you-
I you know, cut it back harshly, and this is the result.
Yeah.
In a few months.
Yeah.
In a few
It's so
months.
full.
Full. Beautiful.
Yeah. Do you set the pieces that you cut back?
I tend to grow my desert rose from the seed pods.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
I find it I'm more successful with it that way.
With it.
Because these, if you cut them, you have to be very careful because they rot very easily.
Yes.
So I just propagate them from seeds.
Okay. This is another one
Yes.
that you have cut back,
Yes.
and it's starting to bloom now.
The crown of thorns would be like your backbone plants, you know.
Yes.
The ones that are just always there, like your bougainvilleas, your exorias. Yeah.
And I can't help but notice that you made sure the wall matches with the flowers on the crown of thorns.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you have scallion over there and
I
thyme.
think I'm going to do a little vegetable garden over here since I can't do it in my backyard because of my dogs.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to put in maybe some bell peppers, some Scotch bonnet peppers, things like that.
Oh, look at this basket.
Oh, this basket
with
was
Ixoria.
This basket. Let me go on and stand up in front of it and tell you a little story.
Okay. There, we take your picture.
Right.
Yes.
This basket was actually my mother's handiwork. She prided herself in keeping this in the particular shape.
Really?
Yeah, this is her signature.
So it was, is it that she wired it?
Yes, and gave it the shape of a basket.
And I'm sure when children come, they just love to stand there and take pictures.
Right, and take their pictures.
That's nice. And it's Ixoria.
Yeah, this is an Ixoria, yellow,
Uh-huh.
yellow.
Yeah.
And even though we trim it, I mean,
You'll get
a lot of
blooms on
yeah,
it.
we get a lot of blooms on it.
You
It's
get
just that it's not
blooms.
blooming right now.
Okay.
Here you come. So around it, I just have, Bromeliads.
And I noticed the bromeliads.
They're actually just
they
growing
attach
on
very
the
well
trunk. Yeah,
onto the
I
trunk.
didn't even put it on it. It just grew on it. And this gives you a beautiful red flower,
Yes.
which lasts for a very long time.
Okay. And it will propagate itself on
Oh,
it.
yes.
You
because
don't have to.
believe me, I started only with one of this plant.
Yeah.
And I have so many now.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
Heliconias, ginger lilies. These do fairly well here because normally they really like maybe a cooler climate. But I think because of the wall, they don't do too badly over
Yeah.
here.
And they're relatively shaded.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yes, yes.
Mom made the basket and
Right.
she was.
Yeah. After the passing of my father, my mom came to live with me here, and maybe for about 20 years she lived here with
Oh,
me.
wow.
You know, so we were really very close.
Uh-huh.
My mom was really my greatest inspiration when it came to the garden because she knew a lot about gardening. She was very creative, and she just taught me so much about the garden. I mean, I can remember as a child, like at least once a month, we would always be going to Hope Gardens. Mommy would-
Really?
yeah, my mother would pack our Sunday dinner and you know, carry something to throw on
The
grass,
ground.
and we would just run up and down Hope Gardens like wild children.
Oh.
But I so enjoyed it, and I think that's where my love
Yes,
for gardening
yes.
came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
That place
That happens.
was so beautiful. Thank God I understand it's coming back.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
They're working
Because
on
it's
it.
really, it's inspirational. You know, when you go there and you see the garden, it really would motivate you to,
Yes.
you know, to try
You
something
were,
for
as a
yourself.
child, connecting with nature,
Right.
which would carry you through life.
Yes.
But at that time, you probably just saw it as play.
Right,
But your
right.
mother knew better than that.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. So she lived with you for 20 years.
Yes, yes. And then after
And-
she passed away, I don't know, for almost 7 years,
Yeah.
I never came out into my garden.
Really?
I think that was how I grieved her. I just could not face the garden because, you know, she'd always be out here with me. I just couldn't face it. And it took me, as I said, almost 7 years before I came back in my garden. So I wanted started back, you know, trying to rejuvenate it. Maybe just 2 or 3 years now.
Okay.
But I said, you know, in honor of her, I really need to
Yes, yes.
bring it back because that is what she would have wanted. So
And it does a lot for you in terms of.
it does. It's very it's a de-stressor. Not that I'm under any stress because I'm a very laid-back
Laid-back
person.
person.
Yeah, I don't work. I don't make a lot of things bother me, but the gardening is very rewarding.
therapeutic.
For me. It's therapeutic.
Yes.
I know every plant in my garden, and you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bed
Oh,
used
right. I was
to-
saying all of these gravel beds were filled with orchids many years ago, but during the time when I was not paying any attention to my garden, they basically, and maybe I could easily have lost 80% of my orchids. But I've just decided now that I will not go 100% orchids anymore. I'll just go with a variety of plants. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a lot of space.
Right.
You have a lot of space. So having the
So you have to have the
varieties-
diversity.
Yes, yes, yes. I see you have quite a nice succulent collection going on
Okay.
here. And over
Well,
there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These succulents really, I'm taking care of them for my daughter. During the pandemic, all of the millennials were into plants and they seem to have gravitated to succulents. So most of these my daughter purchased, but now that everything seems to have gone back to normal,
Or
they're
almost.
they're now my grandchildren. I am the one taking care of them.
Your
But-
grand plants.
Yes. I love plants, so
Yes.
you know, it's not an issue for me.
Yeah. This one is nice.
Yes. it's
The-
like a
this is
cabbage
the
head.
same as this.
Which one? No,
Except
no,
it's
no,
a little
no,
bit
no,
more
no, no,
frilly.
It's different. It's a different
Yeah,
one.
I like
it's a different
that.
one.
I like that. It has a little frilly
Yes.
thing about
it's
it.
like it's forming like a cabbage head. So.
Yes.
And this is a very interesting one, to donkey tail.
Oh, this one is called donkey tail.
Yes.
Or locks. It looks like locks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a pretty orchid here.
Yes.
Going on here.
These are these semi-shade vandas.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not really getting a lot of blooms right now, but I guess I just have to
You just
wait
have to
until they're
wait.
ready. Yeah, everything. in its
They
own
will
time.
bloom when they're
Yes,
ready.
yes,
You
yes.
can't force them.
No. My mother would always say to me, you can't yam plant flowers rather. So based on that, I decided to intersperse, things that I can eat with,
Yes.
with my flowers.
Yeah, it's always a good thing
It
to
is,
do,
it
to
is.
have both. But
Of course.
there are those who believe that you must just plant what you can eat. But I said, you have to have food for the spirit, for the soul as well.
Of
So
course.
the flowers are good,
Yes.
and then you must always
Yes.
have food.
Yes.
Begonias, I see you like
Oh yeah,
begonias like
because
me.
they're just always, the color is so, the
Yeah.
red is so beautiful.
Yeah,
It's outstanding.
and they don't require a lot.
No.
It's more, I think though, not too much sun. What do
No.
you think?
No, right, you're right.
Kind of a
they
more
can tolerate a little
semi-shaded
sun,
area.
but semi-shade. Here
Right,
here
right.
works well for them.
Yeah.
And in here is sort of like a little nursery for me as well. I'm planning to go into dendrobiums in here, so I've just started my collection. Most of these I got at Evergrow.
Yeah.
Evergrow is my favorite spot.
It is everybody's favorite spot.
Everything you want there.
Yes.
Your plants, your fertilizers, your pots, everything. And they're reasonable.
Yeah, it's such a
Very
nice
reasonable.
place to go
It's a
to.
lovely place to shop.
Yeah. Love the orchids there.
Yeah, they've been blooming from December, so
Uh-huh.
they're kind of going off now. But I've done very well with my phalaenopsis.
Yes.
I think it's one of the easy. People don't seem to think so, but it's one of the easiest ones to grow.
Yes.
It really is.
You just put them in the right spot.
Yeah. Here is a little too sunny for them, but I don't have anywhere else. so.
Yeah. Is it sunny though? Because you
It
have
is,
shade cloth over
it
this.
It is.
Okay. And I love the little whimsical
The
ornaments. I love birdhouses. And I like that basket with that plant.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I think I got now a floral arrangement in that basket, and after the arrangement
Yes.
that I say, I have to find something to do with this. So I stuck it there and just put that succulent in there.
Oh man, you have all the varieties of the
I have
aglaonemia.
quite a few that I've been able to find. This is
Yes.
this is my new favorite plant.
Yes.
Because it grows very easily. It doesn't require much attention either. And it's a good indoor plant.
Yes, it does very well
good
indoor.
plant.
And you have some more over there. I think you have all of them, Miss Barbara. I
I
think
have a few more varieties inside.
you have
actually.
some others? Okay. And then your green and white collection.
Yes.
That is so pretty.
Thank
I
you.
love that.
Thanks.
Love that. Atrium,
Yes.
more plants.
Yes.
Oh, these are so
So what I
lush and
basically
nice.
have in here are the plants that require shade.
Shade.
Yeah. And you can see, the plants really thrive in here. You can see how huge those Congo plants are, my bird of nest, my ferns, more algomenias. Those are
I didn't realize these were aglaonemias until recently.
yes, because we used to just call them
Silver Queen,
right?
yeah.
But the group that it belongs to
Yeah,
is
it's the same,
Algomenia.
aglaonemia.
Aglaonemia,
Yeah.
right. And these are some of my
Bird
fern.
nest.
Yes. Staghorn.
Staghorn.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
These really
Staghorn.
look like a work of art to me.
Yes, they're fabulous. Staghorn.
And other ferns cannot tend to grow in it because
Yes.
you see this?
Yes, you notice that?
Yes.
The ferns will just take them
Oh,
over.
God. I like ferns, but they can be so intrusive. These I don't mind, but like your common ferns, they will take over your garden if
Especially if it's moist.
yes. And I mean in here it's very cool.
What a pretty spider
Spider
plant.
plant. It's another one there.
Yeah, that one is so pretty.
So this is a different color. I didn't have that
You
around the
didn't
front.
have this round the
And
front.
this is another one.
Wow, so I think you have all of them, eh?
No, there are many more. It's
You
maybe
think
all
so?
that's available in Jamaica, or all that I can find, I should
Yeah.
say, because I really have
That
been trying
one
to
is
collect them.
also different.
Yes, that one is different.
Yeah. Aglaonemias,
Peace lily.
peace lilies.
This fern.
Yeah, look at this fern with the
I'm trying to remember the name now.
yeah, but look at the roots.
Yes. It has taken over the whole basket all of outside. So it's just like a ball of
Yes,
leaves.
this is beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful. Do you have to wet in here, or because of
No,
how
I
it
have
is,
to.
it creates
I
its-
water it like maybe 2 to 3 times per week.
Oh, okay.
Because like
okay.
these ferns, the root system is very fine. I remember it was Mr. Olson I got it from.
Mr.
And-
Golson.
yeah, and he
Oh
said
wow, Mr. Golson.
his name comes up a lot. Eh?
Yes, I got one from Mr.
Yeah,
Golson. So
yeah, you
I
have-
almost said it because every time I see it, I
That's
think of
pretty-
Mr. Golson.
Oh, okay. He was such a sweet man.
Oh,
and his
everybody.
gardener Nancy. Did you know
Eh?
Nancy? His
Oh
gardener?
yes,
Nancy's a darling.
yes, Mr.
He always gave me
Golson.
good advice on
Yeah.
what to do with particular plants.
Yeah, he was a wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
He was such a wealth of knowledge.
And always willing
so
to share.
free. Yes,
Willing to
so
share.
willing to share
Yes.
and full of love.
Yes.
Okay, so these are
Here we have a group of calatheas. 3 varieties are here. There's this one, this leaf coloration, this one, and this one.
oh yeah, there's another one down there. Yeah.
They actually produce a small bloom, and when the blooms actually
I think
Much-
I've seen a little bloom
yes,
here.
when the
yes.
blooms mature and the seeds drop on the ground, they will grow. So you can get growth from the rhizomes that are in there or from the seeds, because I'll find them growing all over the garden. So
Yeah.
those would have to be from the seeds.
The prayer plant.
Right. It's not the easiest of plant to grow, but it is so rewarding when it's in, its element, because sometimes it will go down and then the pot, you'll just have the pot empty. Think the pot is empty, but it's not really empty. The plant is probably just going through a hibernation phase, you could call it. And then
And it
spring.
comes
back
back
up
up.
in spring. Epicea.
Epicea, I call them lady slipper, right?
Okay, yeah, same thing.
You actually have it as ground cover in
Yeah,
here.
I didn't really put them on the ground. They were
Yeah,
in
they
pots,
they
and
just
when
grow
they
on the
drop on the
ground.
ground, because in here the humidity is high and it's cool, they just grow naturally.
What's nice is that when you're in your living room, you're looking out to all of that.
Yes.
So it's the outdoor coming in.
Indoor, yes.
Yes. This is the bird nest fern, and you have another one over there,
Yes.
or a few of them over there.
Yes. They can get quite large.
Yeah.
But this growth has been over many years still.
Yes.
In the backyard, I have my orchard, and among the plants the fruit trees that I have growing here are avocado, longan, mangoes, soursops, sweet sop, star fruit, guava.
You know, this place sounds like paradise.
I have a banana walk. That was my mother's handiwork. She
Yes.
was more in the backyard. I would be more the flowers lady, but she
Yeah.
sort of took care of the backyard. She liked planting her fruit trees, and I'm now reaping the benefits of them.
Isn't it nice to just go out and pick fruits in the mornings?
Beautiful.
From your own tree.
Your own tree. Your
Fresh.
own tree.
With all the vitamins high.
Yes, I have an ackee tree as well.
You have an ackee tree.
The
Tell me-
best tasting ackee in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, good.
This plant is called longan. I think it's originally from Fiji. It tastes a bit like lychee and guinea together.
Yeah.
Some people say it has a taste of star apple.
Okay.
It's just a very unique flavor.
And it's very sweet?
Very sweet, very sweet.
I've never seen it or even heard of it before.
And I've had this tree at least over 20 years. I've seen
Really?
it in other people's garden.
Really?
But I think it requires a lot of water. So most people who have it, they probably don't do as well with it unless it's getting a lot of water.
Okay.
I have some water that runs out into the backyard. So I think the tree benefits from that.
Okay.
Because this tree bears profusely.
Are these gonna bear pineapples as well? This is a
These-
lovely pineapple.
Yes, these are gonna give me suckers. So after we take the fruit off, we can plant.
You just plant
the
those
suckers,
out. Okay.
yeah. And these pineapples are super sweet.
Okay. You have quite a bit of them.
Yes.
Because here
I didn't even know when my gardener actually
Yeah.
planted them.
yeah, they love here.
Yes, they have done well here.
So Barbara, what is it like living in paradise? Because this is paradise.
I like the way you describe it. I don't know. I get up to it every day, so I'm just blessed and happy to be alive and to be living in this beautiful
setting.
place. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
it's beautiful.
Yes.
And to be surrounded by all of this beauty every day, it has to be a healthy thing.
It is.
Yeah. And I hear the birds.
Oh,
Or
every
hear the
morning
birds
by
in the background.
5 o'clock, I hear a whole symphony outside my
Oh.
window. So I can know when it is 5 o'clock because you'll hear maybe the yellow birds, and then by 5:30 you'll hear the doves, and by 7
The orchestra,
Yes.
the full orchestra.
Yes, I can determine what time it is depending on which birds I'm hearing outside.
Really?
And then in the nights I have the crickets and
Oh.
the peony-wally. I do have peony-wally in my garden.
Peony-wally.
Yes, I have a lot of frogs out here too,
Yeah.
which I know they're beneficial to the garden. So,
Right, they help in the balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
But I haven't seen Peony Wally for a good while.
I know.
Yeah.
Every now
Yeah,
and then,
I have
every
the
now and then I
crickets.
see them out here.
Oh, that's
Especially
so nice.
when there's a lot of rain.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, thank you so much for having us.
It was my pleasure. It was fun doing this walkthrough with you.
Yes, and continue to enjoy this.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Thanks.
Thank you.